In Los Angeles, in California, if someone breaks into your house and you attack them with a gun, a sword, or a fork, will you go to jail? Now, before we answer this question, a big thanks to criminal defense attorney Arash Hashemi with HashemiLaw.com for helping me put some of this content together. But anyway, again, if someone breaks into your house and you attack them, will you go to jail? Now, the quick answer, yes. In California, not just Texas, you can legally stab someone with a fork, potentially kill them, and not go to jail. If, big, huge if that person you stabbed with a fork unlawfully breaks into your house, like inside the house. The neighbor who just jumped over the fence and is peacefully floating in your pool, you can't touch him. Also, it can't be a person of the same household or family member. Your husband showing up at 2 a.m. and you getting mad, so you label him a trespasser. No, you can't touch him. Put the fork down. Now, one law protecting you in such a fork stabbing situation is called the Castle Doctrine, which stems from the idea that your home is your castle. Now, that law pretty much says that if some random dude unlawfully and forcefully enters your house, it is understandable that you will freak the heck out thinking your life is in danger, and hence you get the right to use whatever reasonable force to defend yourself, including deadly force or stabbing someone with a fork. Now, some key points here are that the intruder has to unlawfully and forcefully enter or try to enter the inside of your house. Now, the other thing protecting you here is that California is also a stand your ground state, and the stand your ground law pretty much says that you have no duty to retreat or essentially leave your house before being able to use whatever reasonable force to defend yourself. Now, the key words here are reasonable force to defend yourself. That's why your neighbor who's peacefully floating in your pool, obviously posing like no imminent danger, don't touch him. Call the police. Now, before we go on to the next question, big fat disclaimer, this is not legal advice and I am not an attorney. This is for entertainment purposes only. I do not want to get sued by someone talking about I said it was okay to stab someone with a fork. And by the way, my name is Daniel Rangel, real estate agent in Los Angeles. If I can be of any help, it would be an honor. And for a free consultation on buying or selling, you can find my information in the description below. And if you like this video, it would mean a lot if you hit like or subscribe. But question number 2, what if someone trespasses on your property and gets hurt? Can they sue you? Yes, they can. In California, property owners have a legal obligation to maintain their properties in safe conditions for ordinary use for all people, including trespassers. And at one point, this obligation only extended to like guests and baby trespassers. Yes, that's correct, baby trespassers. And in the case of babies, it was called an attractive nuisance. And an example of this is like a Mickey Mouse water fountain, aka attractive, in a front yard that has no fence, making it easily accessible for a baby to fall in and potentially drown. But around 1970, that changed when a 14-year-old in Los Angeles trespassed and illegally tried to jump on a moving train and fell when one of the steps broke and unfortunately lost his legs. Now, the train company was held liable for negligence in maintaining the train in safe conditions despite the victim being a trespasser. So now owners have an obligation to maintain their properties in safe conditions for all people, including trespassers. And typically, one of the main things the trespasser needs to be able to prove is that you were negligent. So the classic American tire swing in the front yard with no fence, not such a good idea. And if you have a pool, make sure you're in compliance with all the safety codes. And one of the main reasons you see so many fences around construction sites, it's not so much to stop people from like stealing stuff. No, it's about something a lot more expensive, preventing trespassers from getting hurt and suing the property owner. Question number 3, what technically is trespassing? Like, Is a real estate agent knocking on my doors? Is that trespassing? Or what about a police officer or your crazy ex-boyfriend showing up at your house and not wanting to leave? Is that trespassing? Now, the summarized definition of trespassing in California is willfully entering or remaining on someone else's property without permission. Now, one key word here is willfully. I mean, if there's no fence or a sign that says no trespassing, a trespasser could potentially use the argument, I had no idea this was private property. So yes, fences and signs can sometimes add a layer of legal protection. Now, to get back to the door knocking real estate agent, well, generally door-to-door salespeople actually have like federal permission to knock on your door during certain hours. But in California, if you tell them to leave and they don't leave, or you have a sign that says no soliciting, then yes, they're trespassing and you can call the police. And speaking of the police, while they may be able to knock on your door, if they don't have a warrant, one, they can't go inside unless you let them. And two, you have the right to not open the door and talk to them from behind the closed door, like to say, hey, what do you want? And if there's no sound reason for them to be there, like your music is keeping all the neighbors awake, then yes, you can tell them to leave. And if they don't, well, then you can call the police and tell the police that the police are trespassing on your property. And as far as the crazy ex-boyfriend, tell him to leave. And if he doesn't, then yes, he's trespassing and you should probably look into getting a restraining order. But in summary, if you encounter a trespasser, one, if you feel your life is in danger, you have the right to use reasonable force to protect yourself. If the trespasser is not posing an immediate danger, then yes, ask them to leave. And if they don't, then call the police. And remember, some trespassers have rights, so maintain your property in safe conditions for all people, including trespassers. And by the way, again, a big thanks to criminal defense attorney Arash Hashemi with HashemiLaw.com for helping me put some of this content together, and for real expert advice on the topic and other criminal defense matters, I'll include his information in the description below. And by the way, my name is Daniel Rangel, real estate agent in Los Angeles. If I can be of any help, it would be an honor. And for a free consultation on buying or selling, you can find my information in the description below. And if you like this video, don't forget to hit like or subscribe. But either way, thanks a bunch for watching and have an awesome day.